journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, we're going to see a couple examples here. As of Friday, we had just completed this pattern here, actually Saturday morning, the 29th. We made the same aspect, Venus-Uranus. Okay, it's an opposition. In other words, it takes 180 days from one to go to the other, halfway around. Now, the Venus number is known as the Fibonacci number because it's 255 days to circle the Earth, okay? So you take 255 into 365, comes out to 0.618. All of these have relationships like that, but this happens to be one that's known as the Fibonacci relationship, but there's others that are seeing that we're looking at here. But there's something else. We're going to go back into history because we've always been talking about this stock market, the Dow Jones here. And as you can see here, get this up, you'll take a look at it. This is the Dow Jones way back in 1929. There's your September 3rd high. You have a head and shoulders pattern, and then you had the move here, and then the crash started right about here. Watch this date right here, folks. See that date right there? That date is October 23rd. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do some work that I did over the weekend, and all day Saturday and Sunday, asking friends to, chip in. But there was your October 23rd Venus-Uranus opposition right there. That was October 3rd. Now you can see the market was up a little bit. It was 382 off of this high. I checked that. And then, of course, it had the next 11 days, it had to move down into November 11th. Whether it has historic value, but it happened in 1987. It happened in 1929, and there's a possibility it could happen now. But, the market's come back really good, folks. It was down 60 handles. I woke up this morning and I said, oh, my goodness, maybe this thing's going to work. And then I said, oh, well, it's the first day of the month, which all the money comes in new. And that's one of their more money comes in on the first of the month than any other month. And the market's rallied back strong, and it should. It's the greatest bull market in the world. If we close sharply higher today, folks, I have to assume that this is either off by one day or it's just not working. And believe me, with just 3 samples, you can roll the dice because it could be either one. Let's look at some other things that are going on in these markets that are exciting, okay? Let's take a look here this morning. One of the things we were doing yesterday, if you remember on Friday, we were saying with a move like this, we should see a strength in gold up at least to the 42.90 level. That's what we were watching. This was Friday's. Here's Sunday action coming in here. All I'm going to be doing is just showing you what happened to that as it was occurring. Okay, first thing that happened on Sunday night, you'll see that it made a 382 retracement. It opened lower right there off the low we made back on Friday. Okay, now if we go back and extend it out just a little bit more, you'll see what it did was it went up to our number here at 42.90. It's now trading at 42.60. Well, all that is a big ABCD pattern that is completed. That's all that was. There's anything more exciting about that. But there's other markets that are involved here. Let's take a look at the silver market, because the silver market has been el fuego for a very long time. There's so many things to cover here today, folks, that it's really an amazing. Now you can see here, silver's made new highs. On the move here, we're still going higher, 59.15, strong as possibly can be. So we've got to really factor that in to what's going on. All right, now folks, there's been some big moves here. Well, I'll just go to some of these markets here to show you that not all of them are going straight up. Here's the Dow Jones. There was the high on Friday. Last night we came down to here. We rallied exactly up to the 786. Then we came down and made a new low. And when you make a new low, what you have to do is you have to recalculate the 382. And as you can see, don't tell me it's not going to work. No, it's not. Yeah, there it is. And we're trading just a tad above the 382 right now, about 10, 15 points above it. So it still has a chance to be a down day, but like I say, if it gets above that number, closes above that number, that in the S&P would be at 68, 65. If it closed above that, I would think that. And in the Nasdaq, if it closes above 25,560, I would say it's not working this year, and so anything could happen, and it usually does. Now, one thing I did alert, there's something going on big time, folks. Should pay attention. Nobody's even talking about it, and that's this little puppy here. How's this, folks? Look at your Treasury bonds, folks. Look at this last 4 days. Look at that. This is a straight down move, folks. Something is going on that they're not telling us. See, there was our 382. Well, we talked about this, but time goes by. You can see the high that we made back here. Hold on, let's get together where we were. There's our Friday's action. We went up to the just about the 382. We hit another one here. There was a little tiny one here. Didn't quite make it, as you can see. It did made 382 on the day, but not 382 on the previous high. See, there was the high of the day, and it did make the 382, and then it's heading down, and it's still heading down, folks. This is not a bullish bond chart, folks. Look at this. This is not good. Even though stocks are rallying, look, see, as soon as it breaks the 382, you see what happens? That's when the whole thing changes. And that's where it is. There's your 28th. That was your Friday day, okay? That was your high on Friday. And what you can see, we talked about that. When we were doing live trading that day, we didn't have a radio show, but there was your high of the day right there on Friday, exactly 382. And then you had another one almost in the middle of the night here, coming also to the exact 382, but misses it by about more than we want to do. That misses about 8 ticks, but it's still coming down. We've already taken out the lows of last week, folks, back on the 20th of November. For heaven's sakes, this is not a very bullish bond chart, for gosh sakes. So we got to keep that into perspective, correct? All right, now let's move here, and we'll get on to a couple other things. We'll talk about the copper market, folks, because copper was ready to explode to the upside. I talked about this in the newsletter, because we had a perfect head and shoulders pattern here in the copper. There was your left shoulder, your head. Time was absolutely perfect. Shoulder, head, shoulder, perfect, exactly perfect. And all I said was, if this gaps up, this is going to be a failure. Now, all I'm going to do now is switch over to the daily to show you the gap up, okay? There was the gap up right there. See how when it popped above there? Then we came back down, went back up again. Folks, this is giving up too much. See, this is where it should have stopped. It really should have. It should have opened low. It opened higher, came back, unchanged, went up and made a new high, and we're still in that zone, but it's broken the head and shoulders pattern. So it's still technically pretty bullish. And as you can see here, if you follow 382s and stuff, you see as the market starts to making its ABCDs on the way up. Now this one goes to 618. The next one I can see goes to 50%. But this one, next one, is just spot on 382, the one we had Friday, because we were watching that one. There it was right there on Friday, and then boom, away it went. So still positive, but if we start getting below here, there'll be reversal in the market for that. Now, if you remember on the gold that we were talking about just a few minutes ago, hold on a second, I got to get this up here.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter. A must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Okay, folks, I was talking about the gold market. That was at the high that we had here. The pullback, you see, comes back, drops about $50, and it stops right at the 382 of the low we made back here on the Thursday before the Thanksgiving holiday. Anyway, that's really what the gold's doing. That's why silver is still strong. Silver almost $60 an ounce, folks. Boy, that's a heck of a number to look at. All right, now let's go over here to 1 second here, and I wanted to cover one other thing that I think is pretty important. Hold on. We covered the Treasury bonds. I want to bring this silver up to you to show you where we really are. Here's where we are with silver. I want you to look at the monthly chart, folks. Okay, you see where the monthly is? And we'll have to refresh the data, but there's where we are on the monthly chart. The old highs in silver, 1980, it was $54. This one was $50. But in 1980, at $54, it actually wasn't $54. It was $38. I mean, the reason why, I was doing hedging in that stuff, and none of the people, the Harney and Hannum and the Hecla Mining, they were only offering $38 an ounce. You couldn't get it. I mean, you might have held it for thinking you're going to get it, but cash silver did not get above $39. And here we had the silver, the futures, and then what happened was they had to change the rules at the COMEX because the boys, were short, the guys that run the place, and there was a consortium from Arabs and some other people, the Hunt brothers in Dallas, and they were going to push the price up, and it was up like 9-10 limits. I forgot it so long ago, I can't even remember. I had some long silver, but I was trading gold, and that was a big difference. Gold topped on January the 20th of 1980. It's 865 to 873. It was limit bid all across the board, and then from that level on the 20th of January, it went down until Tom O'Brien Sr. said it starts going up now, which was in 2001, and it was, I think it's 2001 or 2002, was trading at 262, and from there it went to 262, and we made a high just a few months ago, a couple of weeks ago, at 4,400 in the gold. So you can see silver still moving higher, making higher as we look each year. Already today, let's just look at it on intraday. I think we're almost, this is just a 4-minute chart. You can see hasn't even made a new high yet, but let's just look at silver from a you can see it's almost exactly 382. There's your pullback right here. There it is, right at 382 right there, and it's still going higher. So you get strong trending markets, you want to pay, really close attention to those. The reason why I'm spending so much time talking about the Venus-Uranus aspect, folks, this is how I got really involved in the astrology, was because of when Dr. Miller, told me to come down to Saratoga and work with her. I said, I'm really skeptical, because I'm a Catholic, and I don't look. She said, these are just calendar days. That's all they are. Okay, so she asked me. She said, to get you interested in this, tell me the most significant days you can think of in the stock market over the last 25 years. Remember, this is 1986. So I said, well, for sure, October, December of 1974. That was the October crash where I lost all my money. It made a double bottom in December. And she said, okay, let's do that. So she said, let's watch these particular conjunctions and oppositions. So she gave me the what was going to happen. So we went to Neil Michelson down at San Diego. He was running Astro Computing at the time, and he gave me the dates. I'd made some money for soybeans over the years with him, and he always thought he owed me something, but he didn't. Anyway, and he came back, and sure enough, October 74, December 74, we had the biggest bottom ever in the stock market that we could ever find. And that's why the market went straight up, and it's still going straight up. There were double conjunctions and oppositions in October, and then they did it in December. The market bottomed on January the 3rd, 1974, and it's not stopped going up since. Okay, so that's why I got interested in it. Then what we asked, okay, if these are so important, why don't we look at the Venus-Uranus aspects? Well, Frank Tauscher, the Super Trader's Almanac, was all over this. He and I were talking all the time. He said, Larry, give me the data. I'll run the stuff. So we got the data from Neil Michelson and gave it to Frank, and by golly, he came back and he said, Larry, he said, this is going to knock your socks off. He says 80% of the time it's within 1 day. And I said, wow. I said, that's pretty good. So that's how it comes. Does it work all the time? Heck no. Do I look at it all the time? Heck no. But when I got patterns that I'm looking at, that's what I'm watching right now. Thanks to one of our subscribers that was looking at some of the stuff in the videos that I sent over the weekend, they said, hey, did you look what happened in 1929? And frankly, I didn't, because I was looking at September 3rd and we had nothing astrological on September the 3rd. Nothing other than, I think it was a full moon or a new moon, one of the two. And then later on, I never even looked at that date, which is really important, and that's this date right here. This August, let's try it again. This is October 23rd was right there. You see the market gap down, rallied up to a 382, and then you see the next day it was still in that same band, and then that's when it started. So I'm saying if that's going to happen again, the market's got to be down today, and then it gaps down tomorrow, and then you could be looking at 11, 12 days, because this takes you down into the end of November, which is, into the middle of to the end of December. In other words, the Bradley model is measuring all the way into December, straight down. We showed you that in all these things that we're watching. That's why this was such an important day, to really, pay close attention to. But it's not falling out of bed as of yet. It's just hanging up here. That's all it's doing. All right, let's move up here, and we'll make sure we cover the things that we want to cover. That's the main thing. We'll cover crude oil here in just a second. We'll get this up here because it had a little bit of a rally last night, not enough to wet anybody's whistle or not, but here's where we were. Okay, there's where we were Friday. You can see, well, I forget even what I do, folks. We had a 382 here this morning, and I'm laughing about that because I bought that and I forgot about it because I sold it when it rallied up to here. I was only looking for a scalp because I was following the AI program. You can see it did really good, and I sold it up here, and it's been going down ever since. But there was your 382 right there on the bottom of that. I mean, I covered that in one of the videos that I sent out over the weekend. But you can see very easily if you just see the corrections, you go from your last major low you had back here on the 25th, that the pullback Sunday night. was right there at 92. It rallied just about $1, and now it's sitting in there, not doing very much at all. So that's it. Okay, now let's move over and talk to the Dow Jones here for a second, because we're getting a little bounce here in the Dow Jones. It's still down 100 and some, but remember, we came down to here, rallied up to the 786. Let's clean this out, do them one at a time, because there was our low. All right, then the market rallied right up here. That was right before the open. Then it came down. It dropped $400 and some. Now it's rallying back, and as you can see, we're back in this zone right here. It's still down 177, not doing much. Almost single digits now, almost in the S&P, folks. This thing might fail, and if it does, that means, wow, this Venus Uranus one is either off by one day or it's failing. We don't know, but here's where we are here. Get the E-mini up here. We'll take a look at it, because the last 2 hours of the day, if is in fact the case, we should start heading down. So this is what this is for the day's action. Move this out of the way just a tiny little bit. There's today's action. You do have some ABC stuff in here if you like ABC.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, I want to talk about Bitcoin here. You can see, I'm going to show it to you live here in just a second. You can see the retracements here. We went to the 382 off of this last high, 382 off of that high. This was an ABCD. That's wrong. It's an ABCD at the 50% level. But let's take a look at Bitcoin as it's trading right now. This is an hourly chart. As you can see here, there was our low on the 20th. Then we rallied up here Sunday night. Actually, it was Saturday morning there, the 29th, when we had that Venus-Uranus aspect. That's why I thought it was going to be a pretty big down day. But, frankly, the market's come back so fast, I could be wrong. But anyway, that's, you see, we've already broken quite a bit on the downside. But it follows the patterns, little ABCDs all the way down here. It's fun to watch. I've never traded it, but my gosh, it trades really well. I mean, it misses the exact ABCD by 100 points, but that's 382 off of that high right back here, folks. That's why, and you can see it's still dropping. It doesn't. Maybe that's going to mean something, but boy, they're beating them up pretty badly over there. So let's get over here and take a look at some of the other things that we want. Let's switch gears here and see how the cattle market's doing today, because remember the cattle market. Oh, we got to switch over from December. I know what I can do. No problem at all. They'll do it for me automatically. I'll just pull up the lead option. I'm sure they're into Feb. This will be Feb cattle now. We'll see if we see any 382s because they should be popping up here pretty close here. Oh, we got here. Where is the refresh? Please don't do this to me. Oh, no. That's Feb cattle. Let me switch something here, folks. I just don't like the technical part of this. Move this over just a little bit, and we'll make that G6, and that ought to bring up Fed cattle. Let's see if it comes up. Nope. Oh, brother. Oh, there they're coming, but just got no prices. Let me refresh everything, and then we'll be okay. We should be finding a little at 382 because they made a major bottom, and here's where we go. We got our pattern up here on the hourly chart. You can see we made that major bottom down in here. We talked about that big bottom right here. There's where they were limit down. Boy, they almost left an island reversal. That's why we're watching for a 382 retracement of this. See, because they've gone from 204, 16 cents, and now we're going to see we want to watch for a 382 here on cattle. And we didn't get it yet, but let's keep watching that because this is a pretty significant bottom. Just perfect A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. That's what you look for, folks. If you get those are the ones that really make you happy camper, especially when you got them everywhere. And oh, shucks. Anyway, you can see the last one that came in here when it was limit down the next day. It had the big run. We talked about it. Things not well. See, there it is. You see it. Feb misses it. December hit the exact number. We're in February cattle is the one you want to be watching, and this is an hourly chart. So we're several days into this. Watch this 382 today or tomorrow, folks, because that should be really strong support coming in here. Remember, we have a strong trending move. You want a slope of the line. See, 45 degrees would be like this. You want a slope of the line around 60. That's about 60. See, if it's more than 45, the 382s don't work. You have to have strong trending markets, okay? And guess what? They got to stop at the 382 because if they don't, that's what the problem. Therein is where the problems lie, okay? All right, we got that one out of the way. Now let's go down and look at soybeans because there was a pattern to sell soybeans this morning. I didn't do it, but we'll take a look and see if it worked or not. Get Jan beans up here. I was looking at them on the smaller time frame. Let's do hourly first, and we'll see how we're doing today. Well, they are working, so let's see. Here's where we were. Just get this up here. There was our 50% retracement here of the move down. Then we had the little rally here. Look at, this is it. Son of a gun. I missed this one, doggone it. There's your move here in beans, all right? Market comes down, makes the 382. Oh, dear. Just perfect. Oh, my goodness. Little ABCD right there, right at the open. Well, the opening would be either one of those numbers was right there. Wow, 36 cents, an easy 10 cents on the downside. Look what happens, though, folks. It gives you a second chance. This is an hourly chart in beans. It's still got an hour and a half to go to trade. We make a new low. So what do you have to do? You have to recalculate because that changes the whole scenario. You go from your high down to your low, and that proves to you that there it is right there at 382. So that's why we like it. This is when it was on the way up. Same thing on the way up. Markets has a nice strong trend. Okay, makes a new high. So what do you have to do? You have to recalculate what that number is, and you bring it in there, right there. Boy, I tell you, folks, I've done some research on this the last 6 months, and oh boy, it's a beauty. Anyway, that's what we're paying attention to here so far today. All right, we still got the Dow still rallying, and the stocks, they're going to try to make it they're going to try to get it unchanged today, maybe close higher, folks. We're at 52 on the 53 on the S&P here. That completes all the ABCD patterns that we have here on it. And it hasn't turned down much, you see. So if it gets above here, folks, you have to question whether that Venus-Urine aspect is off. See, it's not off by 1 day. It's off by 3 days, because you got this 29th was the day. That was Saturday. Then you got Sunday and Monday. That's 2 days. It ain't going to be off by 3 days, because this thing's up on the third day. Say goodbye. Stock's probably going to go a lot higher, but they've got to do that, though. It's still 2.5 hours to go in the day. We'll see what happens. And, it had a huge move, folks. We dropped 50 handles. We went from 60 to 10 with 50 handles, and then we've rallied back really strongly. So this market's not acting bearish. I looked at Bloomberg this morning. What they were talking about was NVIDIA, the fact that NVIDIA had started out low on the day and then immediately snapped back above the open and became positive. So let's just take a look at it on a small time frame. And there you can see what happened to NVIDIA. This is what's making the Nasdaq rally like heck. And there it is. Look, NVIDIA came it opened sharply lower right here. Oh, it's probably exactly 61%. Why wouldn't it be? Let's double check. Pretty close. But there, as soon as that turned positive, that's when all the markets started to rally. The Russell, all of them started to rally as soon as that happened. That was right before the open. And that's why it took off since then. It's strong trending. There's no chance to even buy it back. Looking at it on a long term, it don't look that good. But short term, it's making the people interested. So that's the reasoning why we're watching these things here unfolding here today. Okay, now we had a couple questions about one other stock, which is Microsoft. It's been getting a lot of press. And we've got one other one besides Microsoft. Let's get this done, because there's one even more important than Microsoft that's come up that we want to look at. Okay, there's Microsoft. We had a big move here these last few days into Thanksgiving. There was the Friday Thanksgiving holiday closed really good. And then today we've broken down. And in fact, it gapped down quite a bit. That was one of the reasons for the Dow was down 350, 400 points on the open. And then there's your opening price. And then you started to go up, and then it's been going up. And, that's where we are right now. It's just about ready to go negative again. So.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets. with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, this is a chart of Oracle. If you remember here back on September 10th, they came out and things were really good. And Larry Ellison made $100 billion that day, folks. $100 billion. Now, you see, he's given that back, plus he's given some more back. All right? So that's why I say, follow the charts. Sure, yeah, you can see that. Pull back, that's okay, that's okay. This is the first sign that something's wrong is when it does this. Then you go back and you make 3 higher highs, or 3 lower highs. Then look at this one, folks. This was the day Oracle should have been sold. First of all, you've got basically you got a 135. Shut the front door. Hold on a second here. Basically, you got a 135 pattern right there, lower tops, okay? Then you have a 1, 2, 3-day rally. Now let's blow this up because you're going to see this in the stock market one of these days. So let's remember it. All right. Maybe not in our lifetime, but soon. There it is right there. Okay. So all you want to do is you want to see a 3-day rally that's going to stop right there. It could be 3-day rally. It could be 5-day rally. It'll be a 3 or 5-day rally stopping right here. Why this is important, folks? You've been here. I'm standing here on my soapbox. Is the Dow single digits? No, it's still there. Double digits. Dow's still down 150. Here's what will happen someday in the future, if it's any indication. Okay, here's where we are. Okay, these are the kinds you want to be watching right in here, folks. This is the Dow Jones on the way down. You want to watch for these little 3-day retracements. I've got one here even better, and I can't find the darn thing. That's the problem. I got so many charts for you that I end up doing pretty good. Well, I want to get back to Bitcoin, folks. Bitcoin looks really bad. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know anything about cryptocurrencies, but that's the main thing of what we're paying attention to. The thing that I'm paying attention to more than anything else is this relationship here from 1929, because we're having the same thing happening that happened on October 23rd, 1929. It's happening on Friday, the 29th, Saturday. Here we are, Sunday, Monday. So it's 2 days into that. If we close higher high today, there's a chance it could take off and run like a duck. Ducks don't run pretty good, but they do fly when they also paddle in water. Anyway, this is a really important date, because these things are so accurate, they can't be off by 1 or 2 days. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, because they're like a giant clock. And when they hit the exact numbers, that's the main thing. But you've got the head and shoulders pattern, boom, bang, boom. Look, everything was going to be okay. 2-day rally here, and then bang. So that's why it's important. I'm going to see how it ends up, but we'll do one thing at a time. We've got the high of the day now in the Nasdaq. We got the high of the day now in the S&P. So you can very easily get moving here to the upside. So we'll get this out of the way here. And I can see silver still moving up a little bit. Well, we made a higher high by a penny in this. The Nasdaq has not made a higher high in the day, folks. My fault. I'll get this up because I think the Nasdaq. No, see, the Nasdaq has not made a new high. It's got to close above this 2540 level for it to be a failure, folks. Because if you look at this on a longer time frame on some of these things, remember these are really short patterns, but your ABCD measured could get above that level. We start getting above here, then I'll say, yep, things are looking pretty good. But it's supposed to turn down now, but it doesn't necessarily have to. You see, we're still holding up pretty good. It's not turning down yet. So that's the whole key. And there's your S&P. It's right there near the high of the day. In fact, it is just made a new high of the day just now by a penny. So that's why it's important. Okay. Get back to somebody asked a question about the silver. Where do I think it can go? Higher. That's all I can tell you. This thing is acting bullish. There's your 382. If we measure it, you can see the move that you had Friday, folks. This move here, we went from 56. Excuse me. This is today's action, for God's sake. It went from 56 to 59. It moved another $2 an ounce today. All right. Move this over just a little bit just to show you how bullish the darn thing really is. Look at silver here on the 27th, folks. That Friday, okay, Thursday. Here's Thanksgiving. This is Wednesday. It goes from 53 to 58. That's $5 an ounce. At $500, that's $2,500 at the old rate. Used to be a full contract. It would have been a $25,000 move. So it moved $12,500 in one day, and you can see we're still going higher. The little pullback that we made right back here couldn't even make a 382. It just keeps going higher and higher. So you don't want to stand in front of that. That's not going to be a very smart thing to do. Now, if you wanted to sell silver, let's just play the devil's advocate. All right. The 382 is held really well here. It tested it right here. So there, if a silver, well, that's down 60 cents. But if silver gets below here, below 565, then you've got a chance because it could be in a downtrend, and at least you know where you put your stop is. You sell it here, where are you going to put a stop? You know, we're already ready making new highs on the day because, well, no, it made these last night, but that's, or this morning. That's why you got to protect. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you don't lose, and try not to lose very much. And that's the whole key to what we're watching. All right, let's get up here. And someone asked a question about corn. And get corn up here. Haven't looked at corn and beans very much lately. Okay, that's no good. We got to look at here. Well, I think they're in March corn now. Let's double check. Yeah, here's March corn. And, you know, it's had a nice run to the upside. It's down a little bit today. Really not. Well, yeah, there's our range in corn. Let's just see if we made it to the old 382 retracement. We made a 61% retracement here the other day that tells us we should have some resistance coming in here, and that's exactly what we're having. Didn't even make it, so it's really done very little. Hardly any ABC. Well, they got to refresh this because that's not right. Didn't leave any gap like that. There you go. Well, it did leave a gap, but not much. Here was the key in the corn, was right there. See the gap up opening? This is when the Chinese were going to be buying some stuff from us with one of the tariff deals. But watch this, folks. Remember what we always talk about? See this strong trending move like this? Within a half a penny of the exact low there at 408, and hit the low was 409. See the 382 is 408, and away it goes to the upside. Does it give you another chance? There's your low. There's your 382 right here. And now this is where you are. Looks like we're getting ready to make an ABCD to the downside here in corn so far. All right? Okay. Now, I've only got about another minute or two here till the break comes up. Let me double check how much I do have. It looks like I've got 50. Oh, my gosh, I had to let 2 lifetimes, Al. All right, we'll take a look at one. Hold on just a second. Somebody asked to take a look at Caterpillar because it's been a really strong stock. Let's see what it's doing today. Caterpillar is up slightly today. There's where we were Friday. We are slightly higher than we were, and it's still up in a really strong area. Left this big gap. Well, it's filled that gap, so it's still in this area right here. Caterpillar's really not doing anything. You had a small A, B, C, D here in Caterpillar, and then we're going to get back to our break here, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned with us. We'll be right back, folks.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, there's a caveat here. There's only 2 examples of this happening, 1929, 1987. This could be the 3rd example. But it's got to be, I mean, it can't be off by more than 2 days. We had Saturday, Sunday, today's Monday. Okay, well, this is the 3rd day. If this closes up tomorrow above those highs, then this is wrong. I mean, it can be wrong. It's true. It doesn't work all the time. But if it does, if all they're lower right now, but not by much. The S&P's down 6, Dow Jones 100.5. Nasdaq 15, but if they close higher, the Russell's below that, but if they close higher today, that's the first sign that something's wrong. Remember, it was down 60 handles in the S&P, folks. It got back 90% of it. You know, that's not acting bad, is it? But that's it. Remember, back in 29, all they had was the Dow Jones. They didn't have all this other stuff, ETFs, overnight trading. No, none of that. It was daily trading, okay? So that's why it's so very important. That's why I'm giving you a heads up. and we're going to find out whether it works or not. But if we do start down, and I thought today was going to be the day when you wake up and you see that middle of the night at 2 o'clock you're down 60 handles. They said, well, this could be the day, and then you wake up and realize it's only down 20 handles, and now it's only down 5 handles. That tells you that this may not work this time. That's why I'm giving you the heads up, okay? So that's my 2 cents, and I'm sticking with it. So remember, folks, try to do something. Folks, I have to tell you a story. You're not going to believe this. Played poker Saturday in Los Angeles. Coming back on Sunday, I stopped in Westlake Village, actually Thousand Oaks, to get a McDonald's big breakfast. Ordered the big breakfast, pancakes, sausage, eggs, everything. Went over to get creamer for my coffee. When I came back, 2 homeless people were eating my dinner, my breakfast. And I couldn't believe it. Never happened to me. And I went over to the manager, and he said, I'll give you your money back. I said, no. I said, just give me another meal. And so I moved to another part of the thing. But I had never seen that happen before. So things are not too ripe in Los Angeles. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. And we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow. Bill Cerubi will be our guest tomorrow, folks. Don't miss it.